Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. As always, a couple of reminders that I'm not your financial advisor and we never provide investment advice on this channel. Now, with that being said, if you're new, we thank you so much for being a part of the series and being part of the channel. Definitely, I would encourage you to go back to day one of the video series so that you can get the introductions out of the way and kind of just see what the flow of the content that is going to be provided, kind of looks like. And if you are somebody that's been with us, somewhere along the way or from the very beginning, thank you again, as always, for continuing to support the channel and keeping up, here with the series. Now, what we're going to do, obviously, we're going to go ahead and jump into some review. So we can see we've got some tabs open. So let's go ahead and let's see what we got going on. Looking here at 8man, so we can see that we've definitely got some movement here on 8man. If we look at the alert here, we can see that this was triggered, this was created 17 days ago, last triggered a day ago. So I want it to be alerted when the market cap, went over 200,000. So obviously we can see that this went bananas. It is currently sitting at 1.3, and that is not even the all-time high. Another great example of what is being done here in this series, where we are looking at tokens, setting some alerts, taking a look at what's going on in the community and deciding if it's worth it to continue to go ahead and track and follow the token. So obviously, like the alert said, this was created, several days ago, 17 days ago. So that's back in this area. And obviously, while it did take some time for this one to go ahead and move, obviously there's been tremendous gains on this one, to the tune of 5x. So, and that's not even accounting for if this retraced, so if you were somebody that was taking a look at this one, because I do know some of you guys, go ahead and copy my alerts, which I've told you many times, that's way okay. But if you're also somebody making your own alerts, or setting the alert for the token, but setting different alerts in terms of, your thresholds, that's perfectly fine too. So there are some tokens you just have to go ahead and, learn to have some conviction, on. Some of them, they go ahead and yes, they will stay flatline, for a little bit. And then there's some catalysts where they just kind of jump, up out of nowhere. This clearly seems to be the case, with this particular token, but I did continue to keep this one, on my watch list. And this happened to be a CTO, as you can see, up here in the banner. So, and I've told you, many times before that, when it comes to CTOs, you got some of them that go ahead and work okay. Then you got a bunch of them that are just garbage. So you have to go ahead and kind of weed out your ones where the CTOs are actually putting in a lot of work and actually, doing what they need to do to get some exposure and to keep the community going and to keep the visibility for the token, going as well. So kudos, to the team behind this one, and kudos to any holders of this token that actually, stuck it out, here in the stages where it was kind of just, sitting, sitting at the bottom levels, and obviously at these levels, people are known to be picking up, more and more supply, just in hopes, that if the token takes off, if they've got more tokens, of value to them, that they can go ahead and sell off as the token moves towards an upward trajectory, as this one did. So again, 8man did really good, in terms of overall movement. So just wanted to go ahead and show you that as part of the review. This is one that we took a look, at yesterday. This is Spare Parts Universe. We can see here in the alerts that this one was set at 96K. And it says it was created 2 days ago. So maybe it's a couple of days ago that we went ahead and set this one, according to this, so I said yesterday, my bad. But either way, this was set at 96K, and we can see that it's currently, 96K would have been down in, let's see here, around here, so we can see good movement, in terms of this token, and actually the high from where we called, or placed the alert, is still higher than even where it's currently sitting at now at 222K. All right, so that's another good one in terms of the review, and another token highlighting, what's being done in the series. I continue to remind all of you, those that are new, those that have been following, for a while, that there are multiple examples throughout the first 30 days of this series where tokens, where we set alerts on tokens, and those tokens at some point, did go ahead and move. And we're talking about that pump could have been anywhere from a 2x all the way to a 10x and beyond, because we have seen more than a 10x, in some of the tokens that have where alerts have been created, that we found using the Dexscreener platform, through the use of the filters. All right, so looking here at Cryptane, this is one that I talked to you guys about, very recently. If we look at the alert here, this one a couple of days ago, I was talking about how I saw this one the night before, and it was just kind of sitting there. I think at one point it was under 100K. Something happened to the Telegram, but they were able to capture, ownership of the Telegram and, kind of fix things and whatnot and take control of the ship, essentially. And so this one, like I said, it just kind of jumped up out of nowhere. Then I think when we were looking at it, here on video, it did retrace quite a bit. And so, obviously, I think I went ahead and I set the alert at that point, for 291K. And then we can see that currently right now it's sitting at 915K. But where was the peak on this? The peak on this was just under 2 million. So we're talking about if anybody copied the alert on this one and they were monitoring, what it did. And I wanted to know when it went over 330. Now, I'm guessing that was based on wherever the candle was at the time, just thinking about how I go ahead and I set alerts. But either way, this still was a pretty decent entry. I'm guessing that it probably did retrace, from this market cap and probably, bounced back. But either way, moving from here to over 2 million, I mean, that's still pretty good gains. And again, I highlighted this several times over. Another example of what we're doing here in this series. Now, this series, I do plan for it to be an ongoing series. I'll just keep doing it, because every day, as we look through Dexscreener, we always get new tokens. I mean, Dexscreener covers all the chains. It covers all kinds of tokens getting launched all the time. So you've always got fresh tokens to go ahead and look at. There's always something to discover, in this series, as we just set the filters and just take a look at what's there for that day. So, and I've told you guys, I don't care if you guys go ahead and copy the alerts, feel free. But if, part of what's being done in this series is to go ahead and also teach you how to set your own filters, what I look at in terms of just kind of look at things through my lens as I talk to you guys, day in and day out with each video in terms of what I'm looking for and how I kind of go about setting alerts, when I'm going through that discovery process through Dexscreener, so hopefully you guys are continuing to get something out of this. Like I said, I've said this before, I'm enjoying doing the series because again, we're catching all kinds of stuff. Not every day is a great day where we catch, all kinds of things, but there have been consistently a number of days where when we go through the review, there are tokens that have moved from the time that the alerts were set. And sometimes that's within the same day. Sometimes it takes several days, but there have been multiple examples where tokens have been proven to move, where we've seen gains, and that's the reason why I do the review. So you can see that we're not just talking about tokens that are just, wet in the bed every day. We're talking about tokens, some move up, some go down, but there are, like I said, plenty of examples that have really kind of legitimized what's going on here in this series. So now that I'm done with that, we're here at the main screen for Dexscreener, but these are some tokens, that I've looked at, that I looked at yesterday. This one, obviously, big retracement, but I told you guys, coming out of the Christmas holiday that a lot of tokens in terms of the volume is going to move, from your holiday tokens into, the inauguration oriented, Trump themed, political themed tokens. Okay. So this one, first crypto president. Now, is this done or not? I honestly don't know. I mean, sometimes they can go ahead and kind of give you a flash, of some upward trajectory, and then it just dumps because you got a lot of people that still didn't get out, here at these upper levels. They're still holding tokens and they're looking for exit liquidity. So I still say this one's one of those high risk kind of tokens, where if I did anything here, and I haven't yet, if I did anything here, it'd probably be, maybe $5 or $10, something I really wouldn't care about losing, if it was me personally. And, then I think I'd probably, set my stop loss, maybe about 25%, so, or anywhere from like, 10, 15, 25%. So the stop loss isn't too terrible. But again, you're only talking about, a very, very small denomination of money. And again, that's if it was me. If you guys want to go and do something with this, that's fine. But I wanted to go ahead and highlight this one to you because they are paying for ads. They do have the boost going. They are still, pretty up high, on the Dexscreener hot pairs. So again, something to consider. But like I said, right now, to set some alerts on this, it would definitely be an over alert on this. I'd probably set it, if I was going to set an alert for this one, probably at 90K, because then I could see that it's starting to go ahead and break out of this a bit. So, and then I think I'd come back and probably just watch it a bit more, but I'm not setting an alert on this one, but I did want to at least, let you know, this is something that I was watching, since yesterday. And then, if you've heard, there's news about, Elon, possibly buying TikTok, so at least the way I understand is that it's a possibility. I don't think it's definitive news yet. So, but if I'm wrong about that, please somebody let me know in the comments. But either way, this one, there were a couple of these tokens that I was watching yesterday into today. And this one, I mean, I don't think this one's down and out yet. I don't think this one's, toast yet. This one in particular, I am interested in setting an alert for. They've currently got the boost going. They're still trending, here on hot pairs. And so if I'm going to go ahead and set an alert on this one, and I know we haven't really gotten into the review portion, or not into the review portion, but discovery portion. But either way, like I said, I just had these open because I wanted to go ahead and show you that I was looking at them last night. But so we're going to do this a little bit differently today. We're currently sitting at 157, 159. Up here in the tab, actually jumped to 164, so I'll set it at 164. We're going to set the alert here for 164, and I'm going to actually set an over and an under. So for the over, we're going to go ahead and set it at 180K. So I know that I am not making a large deviation, from the current market cap, but that's intentional. So because for this one, I think what I would rather do is I'd rather just, hold on, I got to catch my thoughts here. I want to come back and monitor it. That's the reason why the deviation is not very high. So for the under, I think I'm going to set the under at 140K. So, because yeah, I think this one still has potential to move, especially if there's, news that, serves as a catalyst. You got to always think about, what's the catalyst to go ahead and move a token, especially when you're looking at the bottom levels. So, I'm not sure, again, I want to highlight, I'm not sure if it's definitive news that he's actually got it, or if it was just that there's talk about him buying it. So that's that one. And then here for POTUS 47, this one suspiciously looks like the same team behind that Trump agent AI token that I mentioned yesterday. So, because it looks like the font is still the same. I know that's not much to go off of, but I was looking in their channel and it looks like they're doing kind of some of the same things they were doing in the other one. So that's why I suspect that it's the same team. So the reason why I'm putting this one on your radar is because that one yesterday, I remember talking to you about that token, and then I said I wasn't going to track it anymore. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and pause it real quick. Let me see if I can find the chart. All right, guys. So I did go back and I did find that chart for Trump AI agent. And so found this one. This was actually back on the January 12th video. So that would have been 2 days ago. And found this one at 241K. Okay, so at 241K, which is essentially the same level where we are right now, which is at 239, which is kind of crazy. Actually, the chart is saying 256, but either way, we're not very far off, from where this was found a couple of days ago. And you can see that this one actually went up to over 3 million. So, and I said at the time that I'd already, taken an entry in it and that I was going to go ahead and, not worry about tracking it anymore. But I think I told you guys, that if you wanted to still go ahead and keep up with it, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do that. But either way, you were aware, of this particular token and what I said at that time. So had you decided to copy this one, had you decided to go ahead and follow it, it could have ridden this one up, all the way to 3 million, which is just kind of crazy. So it retraced, quite a bit. There was some buy pressure return that retraced, and then obviously tried to go ahead and climb back up. Still, even here, you're still talking about over 2 million at this point, and then it's, retraced down to these levels. So just be aware that, as far as this particular token is concerned, that the reason why I'm bringing this one up to you is because we did talk about it a couple of days ago, and it took off, to again levels over over 3 million. Actually, looks like 3.2 million at the peak, or almost 3.2 million at the peak. So just making you aware of that one. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. And like I said, again, suspiciously, it looked like it was from the same team, or this one is looking like it was from the same team, for the Trump AI token. So, but with that being said, this one I'm just putting on your radar, for anybody who wants to check this one out. Obviously, you can see they've made some pretty good movements. And actually, I watched the launch on this one, and the launch on this one, just to watch it, was just kind of crazy, because I think even around 200K, it was basically just a stair step. I mean, this was from this area here, this is what you saw. There really weren't a whole lot of sells. And I just kept thinking to myself, it's going to dump at some point. And then it really didn't. So that was kind of interesting to watch that it really did hold, pretty well until it gets to around here. And then you start to see, some sell pressure, really start to creep in here. Before then it starts to recover. And then here we are. So do I think this one's still going to head back up? I've said it before. I think, for charts to continue to go on runs, retrace hard, and then keep going on runs, it's hard for charts to do that, consistently. Do I think that it could still continue to maybe move back up? That's a possibility, especially if it's the same team. It looks like, whoever's behind this one, they seem to, at least from what I've seen so far, they seem to do all the right things as far as the token's concerned. In terms of trying to market it, in terms of trying to get additional exposure and so forth. And I think that always plays into the minds of holders that, when you got a pretty decent team, behind a token, that it could, that it could be something worth, having some level of conviction, into. So yeah, just be aware of that one. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and we'll close this out, and then I'm going to pause for a quick minute, and then we'll go into discovery. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look, here at the gear. We're going to change the display, so it looks like the way I want it. So we're going to get rid of price, transactions, volume makers, keep all the time frames, get rid of liquidity, and click apply. And then we're going to sort by the 24-hour. And let's go ahead and let's get into our filters. So what are we going to do? Let's focus on ETH and base today. So we don't have to do anything over here on the DEX side just because we've selected multiple chains. We're going to keep liquidity the same. Market cap, as always, we're going to go ahead and start out with our 50,000. We're going to go out to 300,000. Okay, since we don't always get a bunch, tokens whenever we have been looking at ETH and base, but either way, we'll see what we can get today. And we're going to focus on, newer stuff. So we're going to go out 5 hours to, let's go to 50 hours. Okay, and then on the 24-hour change, minimum value will be 10%. And let's see what we get. So we got 32 tokens, but a ton of these look like they're scams. Okay, so as always, let's go ahead and check these out. So anytime, guys, oops, we don't want to take a look at that one. Anytime you're looking at these with the open box with the question mark, and you guys know that, typically scams, so I always open up some of them just so you guys can go ahead and see that in each video. Now, we may see stuff, that indicates it's freezable, or we may likely see that none of these tokens have any socials, or we may see some odd stuff going on in the buy transactions. Those are typically all, easy signs to go ahead and spot that these are probably scams. All right, so we don't see any sells. That's easy. Go ahead and spot this one as being a scam. You see this is a base token, but we don't get any socials, nothing going on here in the 5-minute or the 1 hour. So that also indicates there's no buy pressure going on. And like I said, it's odd to not see any sells whatsoever. So that's an out. And then this one, no socials again, nothing going on here in the 5-minute, 1 hour, likely going to be a honeypot. And this is not what a chart should look like, after 19 hours. So, all right, and we're only on the 15-minute. We're going to move it over to the 5, but either way, this is not what a chart would look like, after 19 hours of being alive. Okay, so looking here at XTalk, and surely this is probably playing off of that Elon, TikTok news. All right, nothing going on here from the 5-minute all the way over to the 6 hour. Again, easy to spot, likely going to be a scam. This is not what a chart should look like after 20 hours. Okay, so again, easy to spot as a scam. And, here, this one doesn't even look that bad, but again, I would tell you that even though, yeah, sure, there probably are some outliers in terms of, that open box and the question mark, like I showed you here, there may be some outliers, but really, in my personal opinion, is it really worth the risk, so, and for me, it's not worth the risk. So I would just say altogether, if you're somebody following, what I'm trying to go ahead and convey in this video content, then you just make sure that whenever you see that, it's an easy thing when you're searching for Dexscreener, just to go ahead and avoid those. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close this out. And let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of the other stuff, that doesn't have that going on. Okay, and so since we don't get a lot of other stuff, I don't know what that is, but we won't worry about it. Okay, and then we'll look at this one. So, and here, this one, I already pointed this one out to you. The only thing that we didn't do, we didn't look in the Telegram. We can go ahead and do that, since they do have a Telegram. And since we're, going through our normal process of scanning just to make sure what's the chart look like, do we have a Telegram? We'll continue to go ahead and keep that up in terms of consistency, in terms of what we do. All right, this one, Crypto Ball, it looks pretty, flattened out. Nothing going on here in the 5 minute, and then we get a minus 17 on the 1 hour, so we're not going to worry about this one. All right, and then here we do get a Telegram. This is Agent 47, so it's not the same POTUS token that we were looking at before, and this is actually a base token. So again, clearly not the same because the other one was a Solana token. All right, and then they do have a Telegram, so we'll take a look at this one. But the only thing I could see myself doing is probably setting an under alert on this one, just because of where the candle is right now. I mentioned this before, guys, that if you're new, to the channel, to the series, and I'm speaking kind of quickly, you do have the benefit of going back and reviewing whatever material I give you, because that's the benefit of being able to enjoy video content. You can go ahead and skip through what you want to see, and you can also go back and review. All right. So we'll also take a look at that one. Here on this one, this one's called Tired. This is also a base token. So let's go over here. Even as far as this chart's concerned, I don't know, I guess I'd probably set, an over and an under just because of where the candle is. But we do get a Telegram, so we'll probably go ahead and take a look at this one. And then Kuber, this one actually looked like a rug from the start. and so get some buy pressure returning, then heavy sell pressure again, probably for anybody that didn't get out here. And then we can see some buy pressure returning. So actually I'm surprised that they're even right here right now. But we also see nothing going on here at the 5 minute. So, but they do have a Telegram, out of curiosity, I'll go ahead and I'll check that one out too. All right, give me a second, guys. I got to go ahead and get a drink. All right, so let's go and let's check in with some of these channels right now. So, and this one, like I said, the chart doesn't look great, but the only reason why I showed it to you is because it was one I was looking at, yesterday. So, take a look. And we can see they've got some evidence of rating, not a lot of activity, so... what was the last buy on this? So we got 107, it's 119. This is outside of my buy window, so I always place a 10-minute buy window in terms of what I want to go ahead and see. So as far as that's concerned, let's also see, because they're trending here, let's see, if they're actually on the leaderboard. So let's take a look up here, and do we see them here? This is Trump, so it says 4. So Trump FCP, let's see if that's the same one. Yep, FCP. So yes, so they are. This is correct. Okay, sorry about that. And let's go back here, and then we can see that they're they just got another buy that came through, which is good to see. We want to see that buying activity. All right, and so obviously we know the inauguration is coming up, in 26 days. They got a lot of stuff going on here in pinned messages, so they got trending. They got some activity, going on, as far as the ratings concerned. And then you can see this is a confirmed, pay ticket, in regards to their trending. So we're going to go back out. All right. So first crypto president. Yes. So for this one, like I said, if you were to go ahead and set an alert, and on my X page and my Twitter, I do bottom calls. So this might be one that I would go ahead and post there just to go ahead and say, look, guys, I've got one that we're going to go ahead and see if we can see a reversal that may happen on this chart. So those are the kind of, tokens I would go ahead and send over to my X channel. But for this one, like I said, we'll see if this is going to go ahead and head back up. I wasn't going to go ahead and set an alert on this one, but just out of sheer curiosity, I'll go ahead and I'll set one anyway. So this is setting at 74, so we can see this is 71, this is at 74. So we're going to go by the tab, so 74K. And we're going to go ahead and set an over alert on this one for, I don't know, let's set it at 90K. So 90 would give me some indication, whether it's trying to go ahead and break out of that, bottom that it's currently in right now. So we're going to go ahead and close that one out. And then here, this one, we're not really seeing, any kind of activity here on the 5 minute, like I said before. So, but let's check it out anyway and see what they got going on in here. So do we get a portal? Any kind of portal. I actually think this is the main Telegram. Okay, so yeah. So the last buy came in at 106. It's 121. This is outside of the buy window. So for this one, we're not going to go ahead and worry about it. And I'm going to head back out. And I think even that really should have been the case, on FCP, the first crypto president, because I think the last buy was outside of the buy window initially, but I kept it because before we left, we still saw a buy come in, right, at the end. So for this one, Agent 47, that's a no-go. And then for here on tired, let's take a look, even though we're not seeing anything going on in the 5 minute. All right, so do we get a portal? Any kind of portal? I see no portal, so this might actually be the main telegram. Okay, so we're sitting at 129, and we see here 1249 was the last buy. I don't think I've seen another buy since then, so no buying activity in quite a minute. So this is going to be a no-go as well. All right, so that the last buy was outside of my 10-minute window. And then here on Kuber, let's take a look. And again, nothing going on here in the 5 minutes. So typically that would indicate to me, all right, so they don't even have a telegram anymore. So we're going to leave that one in. We're going to leave that one alone. So obviously, either they honeypotted this one, the telegram's gone. So to me, that would indicate a scam. But considering you don't see a huge drop in the sells, they probably honeypotted this one. So if anybody bought into this one, all these buys are just stuck in that pot. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to adjust the filters again, and we're going to go to a larger pair age. So we're going to go out to 120, see what we get. We're going to keep the same market cap levels here. All right, so we're going to open these up. And okay, so we got 5 here. Let's see what we get. All right, here I can tell you right away, we're not going to mess with it. Nothing going on in the 5 minute and the 1 hour. All right, here, nothing going on. This is another base token, nothing going on in the 5 minute. I'm still curious just to see, maybe we don't see anything on the 5 minute, but we still see the 1 hour's in green. So maybe they got something within the last 10 minutes. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. This one, DGen bot, nothing going on in the 5 minute. But again, 1 hour's in green. We'll take a look. We still have a telegram. This one, there's no telegram. So we're not going to go ahead and worry about it. This one, nothing going on in the 5 minute, the 1 hour. So we're not going to worry about it. And keep in mind, guys, even though we're really not, hitting anything in regards to Ethereum and Base based on the filters that we've set, we can always go ahead and switch to another chain. We can always go ahead and look at Solana. We can look at any other chain that we want to. All right. So, and like I told you guys before, there are going to be some days where we actually find some stuff and some days where we don't. So, but the nice thing about messing around with the filters is that you can go ahead and always adjust, what Dexscreener is going to give you. Okay. So we're going to look at Telegram here. And let's see what we got going on. They do give us portal, which is good to see. So, all right. So last buy was at 116. So that's within my 10-minute buy window. So even though we had nothing going on in the 5 minute, we still had something within those 10 minutes. All right. So this one, we got some evidence of raiding. The community is, engaging in the raid, which is good to see. Not really seeing anything in regards to trending. Let's see if they got any kind of boost going for this one. So nothing going on in terms of boost. So the only thing you've got going on right now is rating. Okay, so I would anticipate this is probably going to go ahead and go down if we set an alert for it. So because you don't really have a catalyst, to continue to keep buys coming in. So we're going to go straight to market cap. We're going to go under, and we're currently sitting at 84K. So there we go. And I think this is going to retrace to 50K. So we'll see if it triggers. All right, so we're going to close that one out. And then we're going to head into this one and see what we got going on. Okie doke. Got nothing. So why? Okay. All right, there we go. Just take a minute. Or maybe I clicked on the wrong thing. I don't know. So this is all we got going on in the Telegram. It's not even a portal. So this is going to be a no for us in terms of what we're watching. So we're going to close this out. And then I think, let's see here. Tell you what, let's go and let's just do a quick look at Solana real quick. Maybe they got some better activity going on there. We're going to go ahead and make it a small window. Okay. And we're going to, let's start with our 51 to 120. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. So, what do we got? We'll go and we'll start at the bottom. So I have no idea what that is. First AI meme, sure. Mando, sure. Pow Pow. Wife. Flanders, Flex, Chinese social credit, prosperity and wealth. We've looked at this before, but I don't know if it's the same token. And Wolf. Okay. All right. So let's look at these. Let's see what we get. All right. So looking at this one, looks like it's pretty flatline in terms of the chart here, but we've seen that before. So we'll still take a look since we get a telegram. Chart here, I don't like all the red, and I don't like to see no activity here on the 5 minute, and then we got nothing going on here in the 1 hour, so that's going to be a no. All right, and this one, we're on the minuses on the 5 minute, 1 hour, and the 6 hour. We do get a telegram. Probably looking like this is going to be a continued retracement kind of token, but just based on first impressions, but we don't know that yet. All right, here, this one, nothing going on the 5 minutes, 6 hours, not looking good, even though it's not really bad, minus here. It's only minus 17, but it's pretty flatline right now. Tell you what, we'll leave trends alone. And for this one, we're starting to head into almost 40% in the negative on the 6 hour. So not crazy about it. We're going to leave flex alone. This one could be the start of an uptrend, even though we don't see anything going on here in the 5 minute, but we do have some pretty decent greens here on the 1 hour, 6 hour, and the 24 hour. We do get a telegram. So we'll keep it. And then prosperity here. So I am curious. I'd have to go back to see, if this is the same prosperity and wealth token that I saw before. Since we are looking at this one being almost 5 days ago, it could be the very same one that I looked at before. So I'm just not sure, as I stopped tracking it at least a couple of days ago. I just don't know if it's the same CA. But either way, this one looks like they've already had a pretty decent run up. Especially when you're talking about right up here. I mean, 79K, and this looks like it went up to 370, 380K. So this one, I'll tell you what, I'll keep it open, but we're not going to talk about this one. What I'll do is I'm going to check later, and I'll follow up in tomorrow's video in regards to whether this was one that we actually covered before. Okay, and then Wolf, this one here looks like, they just recently took off. So they got a telegram. We're going to go and keep that one as well. Okay, let's go ahead and let's run into some channels. Let's see what we got going on. All right, so we do get a portal here. So we're going to go straight in, and let's see here. So we get a VC going. VC is good to always see that. I don't see anything as far as trending right away. See, the last buy came in basically 4 minutes ago. Okay, and again, nothing going on streaming, or not streaming, but trending. Sorry about that. We do get some good rating activity. So they're looking for 30 likes, they got it. 20 retweets, they got it. 10 replies, 10 of 16. So they're looking for more replies out of. Well, maybe not. So this is not green, but it looks like they got it, so I don't know why they wouldn't just go ahead and keep that green. That kind of confused me for a moment. So, but again, they completed the raid, here, but this is, I don't know, maybe because they exceeded it, by so many, they give them a purple star. I don't know. But either way, that was good, real good rating, activity on the raid. So, I mean, I like what I'm seeing here. So if we head back out, let's see if they got any kind of boost or anything going on. So for Mando, yeah, nothing else going on here. This one originated from Pump Fund. Because of the activity that's still taking place in regards to the raids, I think there's a possibility that this could, start to head back up. But again, that's why we set the alerts. So we'll set the alerts so that we don't have to go ahead and babysit this chart. So we're sitting at 84 here, 85, in the tab. So the only thing I'd be interested in setting on this one would be an up alert, so that's what I'm going to do. Goes over, I'm going to say 85K. And for threshold, let's go and let's move this one to 100K. So I want to really see it break out of that bottom level. Okay, so that one's good. And then here that we can see there's continued retracement, on this one. We're going to still check out the channel though. So this is why if we get a portal. All right, so yes, I agree. All right, so let's see here how many people we've got in here. And so this is the main telegram for this one. So, all right, we're looking for the last buy on this one. And if it's, so yeah, this is saying even right here when we get this notice, the 117 is 131 on my clock. So, I mean, because we haven't seen a buy in 10 minutes, this is outside of my window in terms of me considering continuing to track this one. So I'm not going to go and do that. This one, actually, this has moved some, since we've actually opened the tab on this one. So because I think on the 5 minute, we weren't seeing any activity, and then all of a sudden we're seeing activity now. So let's take a look at the channel, see what we got going on here. Okay, so we get the portal and just over 220 members here. So the last buy came in a minute ago, 131. And so yeah, this is Chinese social credit, voting, major buy bots trending. They're trying to go and get trending for that. So they got some stuff here in regards to the X accounts, and I'm curious. So I don't see any rating going on. I don't see anything in regards to trending, but I am curious here. And there's nothing going on here. So it's interesting. I don't know where all the buy pressure is coming from, even though I really didn't take a big look around in the chat, but But yeah, that's pretty good. But I would consider this, you got a pretty good buy candle right here. You're absolutely going to go ahead and see some retracement because there are people that probably got in at these bottom levels, and they're definitely going to sell at some point soon, I would imagine. So we're looking at, this is saying 80K, but this is saying 116. So we're going to go ahead and set our alert at 116, and we're only going to set an under alert on this one. So 116K. And that under, we're actually going to leave, we're going to go to 80K, actually. I think it's going to come right back down. Okay, so we'll see if that triggers. So we're going to leave this one alone. And then here, like I said, we're not going to do it and talk about this one. I will see if I actually did talk about this one in a different video. And if I did, then I'll go and I'll cover it, in tomorrow's video. All right, and then this one, Wolf, looks like it's still sitting there at that top. Again, as we know, you got a candle like that, they're not going to go ahead and sit there forever, so if there isn't any more if there aren't any more buys, then I would imagine there's definitely going to be some retracement. I think that candle is going to come down, decently. So let's see here. The 5 minute wasn't showing any buys in this one. So this is actually outside, of my 10-minute buy window. So this is one we're not even going to track. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this one alone. And I think with that being said, I think we're going to leave it alone for today's video. I think that's going to do it for us. So again, as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys continuing to support the channel. I know I moved through this pretty quickly today, but I got to go ahead and get going. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave, I'll come back, I'll do the edit, and then I'll get the upload done. But yeah, just want to thank you guys so much for continuing to follow the series. Hope you guys, as I said in the beginning of the video today, I hope you guys are getting something out of it because, this is the platform to use. I can't stress it enough. If you're looking to go ahead and trigger, trying to find out, where do you find tokens before they explode? Where do you find them before they pump? I mean, where do you find them before they take off? Dexscreener, to me, is the tool. It's the only tool, that really matters because you have so many opportunities because it covers so much information in terms of the origin of tokens and all the chains that it really gives you an opportunity to really, essentially get in early before the pump happens, before some other community's got like 20,000 members in it, shields it to them. And then, before you know it, you're buying the top of the candle instead of getting in much earlier had you basically followed, what I'm covering here in this series. So thanks so much again for watching. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing because not a lot of people that are watching these videos but are not yet subscribed. So please consider becoming a subscribing member of this channel. The last thing I want to tell you is I did make a couple of calls, on the main channel here, Crimson's Calls today. So this one, I'll show you the posts. This one was Rouge Studio, called us at 126K, and it did an 8x. And then we can see this one was POTUS 47, called this one at 293x, or 293. Not 293x, I wish, but called this a 293K, and this one did a 2x, from the time of the post, so just be aware that, here, on Dexscreener is not the only place that I'm going and covering content. I'm also making calls, on that main Telegram. The links are in the description, below, so make sure you go and check that out as well. Thanks guys so much for watching. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.